Watching ABC4 News.
Welcome back. Craig, the trees are budding. The flowers are popping up, and we can now put what we remember as winter 2025 in the rearview mirror. In retrospect, it really wasn't horrible. We escaped giant urban snows. However, we did experience some bone-chilling cold spells that were hard to forget. And of course, our very own Craig Wirth remembers.
Well, yeah, it got down to -10 near Park City. And do you remember February 12th? That's when it was 15 degrees in Salt Lake City. I bet you do remember
I was
that.
snuggling with my dog.
And you can believe the next day, it was nearly 50 below in Logan area. Well, of course, we complained about that cold snap. And to sum up winter 2025, city snow, okay. That cold spell, not okay. But nothing like that cold 90 years ago in the 1930s. Well, now that we're into April, it looks like winter is finally about over, even after a couple of recent snows. And winter really only exists so that we could have something to complain about. This year it wasn't the snow. There wasn't that much, even here in the mountains. No, this year it was all about the cold, with words such as polar vortex. But you're only complaining because it's been so warm these last couple of years. Yeah, go back about 85 years ago and see the Utah folks back then. They had something to complain about. I mean, really complain about. It would be a cold day before you thought about going up Little Cottonwood Canyon again in the 30s. You know, some time ago, I asked a man about the coldest winter in the Intermountain area that he could remember, and he ought to know. In fact, he was the oldest man in the world, died at age 114, although he was a mere 112 years old when I interviewed him.
36 was the worst winter there was. That's the year my car, I tried to drive it to work, it froze up all cylinders. Froze 8 cylinders.
Yes, in this 1936 photo, it just looks cold. And it was. By November 3rd of 1936, it was record cold, 2 degrees in some places. Plus, the paper said record snow, over 8 inches in a day. The folks in Park City probably would have been happy with just 8 inches in one day. Yep, folks back then had something to complain about. And keeping warm in those old cold days, well, Walter remembered.
Everybody burning coal at that time. No gas at that time.
Wow, and you think we have inversions now. You should have seen it when everyone was burning coal. In fact, you couldn't see it. Yeah, the coal smoke of long ago offered a little more to complain about. Old Salt Lake buildings still have a little dark tinge from the air back then. Now, 1936 wasn't the only cold time in the Intermountain area, the year Walter talked about from his Montana home. Really, most of the 1930s went downhill when it came to cold. A guy in the old Civilian Conservation Corps in Utah took a selfie to show it was terrible. It hit a record -30 in Salt Lake City in 1931. Oh my, it was horrible all over. And folks were getting sick from the cold and coal smoke inversion in Salt Lake City. So sick that the health department stepped in. No more spitting on the sidewalk. Oh my goodness. This 1931 paper said folks were spreading colds in the cold. The Salt Lake Health Department director said, I counted 32 expectoration spots on the sidewalk between 1st and 2nd South on the east side of Main Street. Yeah, and this is where all that was. I'm not going to walk down this street again. Yes, folks back then had cold winters to complain about. Today, you have nothing to complain about. And besides, it's now spring. Yeah, can you imagine?
well,
that was a lousy winter. And, you know, it was nothing to spit at those penalties. 6 months in jail for multiple spitting on
Oh, my
Main Street.
goodness. Every baseball manager would be in, maybe a $12 fine.
Yeah, super easy. That's insane.
That is insane, Craig. And I, when I moved here, that's what I expected winter in the city to be like.
Expectorated?
The expectorated. But no, I feel like I got spoiled.
No, this winter wasn't bad, and it is over, right?
Yes, I mean,
You're guarantee it's over?
You're guaranteed. Yeah, come on.
It's over.
Whoa. No weatherman.
Craig Wirth is asking for a guarantee.
You guaranteed it. You guaranteed it.
Yeah, I heard
never,
you, Craig.
I'll give it a 99.9% chance.
That's enough for me.
Over.
We'll take
It's
it.
spring.
Astronomical winter's over, I can tell you that.
Okay. And hey, the weather today and coming off of this weekend has just been absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, if anything, we got to complain about the heat, not the cold this go around.
I'm not complaining.
Just
Exactly.
complain.
I am not going to be complaining.